Corey and Denise with Does Size Matter, and we're super excited to share this video with you guys today. We're at Pete's RV Center in Burlington, Vermont, and they sell Airstreams. So I'm so excited to do this. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. I've done my research. This video is going to be about the construction techniques of the Airstream trailers. But just a couple housekeeping issues. As usual, everything we're telling you just based on mine and Corey's research, forums we go on, people we talk to, everything we can read and learn, we want to share with you, but it is based on, what we like to do and our priorities in RVs. Secondly, I want to talk about one of our resources, and it's called rvsometimer, and it's something you can use too. It's also unbiased, just like us. And they do a lot of research as well and help you with particular choices if you would like to use them for that, or they give you general ideas. So check out the link in the description to them. Thirdly, there's going to be some links in the end here that will take you to specific models or adventures that we go on and stuff like that. So this video, you're going to find the construction techniques, the nuts and bolts, as much information as I can find on that. But the specific models, floor plans, sizes, that kind of thing, you're going to find in subsequent videos that I'll link to at the end. So make sure you hit those. When talking about construction, we need to start with the chassis. The Airstream chassis is on a steel frame with the steel outriggers going across in kind of a ladder formation. Then the house and everything is put on top of that, and we'll get into that, but I wanted to talk more about the axles on the Airstream, and that they're just a little bit different than we've seen on others. They are a torsion axle, and what that means is that each tire has a rubber torsion arm on it that's attached separately to the axle, which allows each tire to move independently and kind of flex and absorb bumps and sway and things in a different manner to give you a better ride. There are no springs in these axles. You'll also find that they do have a shock absorber as well as the torsion axle system. They are on aluminum wheels. These are Goodyear tires. They do also have their wheel wells, fender areas. It's a plastic product, but it's pretty heavy duty. So that protects if you were to have a blowout sort of situation. Moving up from that, then they put their tanks into the frame. And I just want to talk a little bit about tanks in general while we're talking about the general construction video, because the smaller trailers have shared gray and black, where the larger trailers will have separate, and there's pros and cons to that. They do put them right inside the frame. Many manufacturers do that. It helps to keep the center of gravity low on a lighter trailer, so that helps it to be more stable. And in these particular Airstreams, they claim that 50% of the weight of the trailer is below the floor. So putting that together with the torsion axle system is what gives it a much smoother, more stable ride and handles, different road conditions better. It even says it handles sway from side to side better. So that's interesting. Airstream has generally been considered a very efficient trailer due to its shape, obviously, and its weight. They're saying you can save, 20 to 30% on fuel costs. At least this is what owners are telling the company. So that's a big savings when you're driving down the road or putting on a lot of miles. So next we need to talk about the housing of the Airstream trailer and how it's built, because it's very different than any other trailer that we've seen so far, being that this is aircraft grade aluminum that's used. This aluminum is sprayed with a formula that actually protects it from corrosion and UV and molding and all types of damage to protect it and keep your trailer good for you for a long time. So these aluminum pieces are cut with the precision CNC machinery, and then they go on in pieces. So they build all of this together. They build the front pieces, they attach these side pieces of aluminum to the aluminum ribs that are inside and to each other with all of these rivets. It takes 2 people to actually do all of these rivets that you'll see in an Airstream trailer. One pushes it in and someone's on the inside flattening it out. So it is quite labor intensive when you think of it that way. But they put all of these pieces together, they seal all of the seams, the windows and things are cut out, they have a aluminum, it's a aluminum piece that has a white enamel finish on it that goes on top of the roof. Now that's to help with temperature and things like that. And then they place the appliances like air conditioning and venting and stuff onto the roof. And once this is all put together, it's put on the flooring system. The whole unit is picked up and attached to the chassis, screwed down to the chassis. So the electrical and all of those things that were put together in that chassis run up into the housing unit, and then they start building the inside. So it is a completely different process than any other that we have seen. So these windows are a tempered glass that use polyurethane to seal them into an aluminum frame, and then they are riveted in place here, and we'll show you more about that when we go into the inside. We also wanted to mention Airstream always has these window covering awnings, but depending on the model or the size, those could vary. And so let's look at the smaller one. So you can see these arms, they pull it out and pull down, and then they click it into this clip right here to give you some shade over the window. So a lot of people, that's really important too. For me, I'm not too worried about it. I like to see out the windows. But they are, you know, unique, iconic Airstream style and sized windows. But let's go take a look at the ones at the front, because they are also a solar protected window. So that's what these things are, because the actual window's underneath here, right? Now these do open up, they tell me up to 90 degrees. I'd have to take a look at that some more. But you know, I can see this one. Let me just see if I can get it up for you. So they have these little rubber stopper things, and then, you know, the window lifts up, or the cover lifts up, so that you can open the window and get a great view, because isn't that what Airstream windows are about, is the super great view? And then you just hook them back up there.
They see through them while they're down.
Oh yes, you can, and that's the thing, they're solar protected, and you know, depending on the model will depend on how many of those beautiful wraparound windows there are. The other thing I wanted to point out on the front is that they have these aluminum protectors. Basically that's a rock guard, right? And I'm always harping about having a rock guard in the front of your trailer, because you don't want to make any marks in this aluminum. Now, on any trailer you don't want to do that, but this is going to be tough and expensive. Or not even this one. This part's probably not too bad, but if you are denting in or scratching up your aluminum body, that really sucks. So best to protect it any way you can. And I mean, that is one of the downsides, I guess, if we want to talk about pros and cons to a Airstream trailer, is that, you know, get in a hailstorm and your trailer can be really severely damaged. So something to think about. And I mean, no matter where you go, if you have to replace a fiberglass panel too, that could be a problem if you can replace it. So those are just some of the things to think about. They do have varying sized propane tanks depending on the size of the trailer, and they do have some exterior storage, and when we do each model we'll talk about those kinds of things. Pretty much all of them are coming with an electric jack these days for your hitch. So come around here though, because what I am noticing is that other than the higher end big models, you get manual stabilizer jacks. You could have 2 to 4 depending on the model, and we'll talk about that when we look at each model, but they are manual for the most part. So they do also have specific to Airstream aluminum steps, so that's cool that they're aluminum steps, but we've used these when we rented the Airstream Nest, and we kind of unfolded these, and I mean, I guess once you get practice at it, it's probably easy, but they're a bit challenging to open up. So they are good, sturdy steps, but they are a bit of a challenge, and I am interested to see when we get to the higher end models if the stairs change at all. But let's go inside because I want to talk more about construction, not this particular model, but I want to show you a bit of a different view. Come on. Now that we're in the inside, we got to talk a little more about the wall construction. So remember, we've got that aluminum sheeting outside that's attached to those aluminum ribs. They seal all of the seams for each piece. Then on the inside, there is another, I've seen it in print as a tape. I saw it in video as more like a gluey paste that they put on the seams, but this is a thermal barrier type of stuff to reduce the heat transfer from inner to outer wall. So it's in between is what I'm getting at. Then they spray all of the wall, all of that aluminum, and they put up a batting insulation. It is a specific batting insulation that is very eco-friendly. It's made up of like 62% recycled materials. It does have a adhesive in it, but it's a bio-friendly adhesive. So I think it's without formaldehyde. It's without the harsh chemicals. And then, so that is placed throughout the trailer. Then they bring in more of that aircraft grade aluminum and it gets put on the inside. Then they router out all of the openings for windows and doors and things like that. And all of these windows are in a aluminum frame, and then the frame is inserted. So then it's riveted in place and it's all sealed up. Now, I keep asking myself, are those single or double pane windows? And I think they're single pane windows. I could not find any actual numbers around insulation values in these trailers. Now, we all know that those numbers are all calculated in weird ways and don't give us the best answers anyways. What I can say overall, in general, from all of the resources that I gather information from, one of its cons is that it is not a super well insulated trailer for colder temperatures. They do have air conditioning and they do have heaters and all of those kinds of things, but that would be probably one of the cons, I think. So moving on from the walls, of course, that carries right on through to the ceiling and roof structure. Now you can see, and looking here, that the air conditioning and everything is between the ceiling and the actual rooftop, and the ducting is then put through, so we don't actually see the air conditioner, but then it's got all this nice ducting. All of the lighting is LED. There is no wood in any of these openings for the vent or the skylight. Always nice to have skylights, right? And then if we go down to the floor, we can talk about the fact, so the floor is a 5/8 inch plywood that is screwed down, and it has a one-piece vinyl covering it. So yay, no carpet. We all know I love that. This is a very nice, sturdy, it even has a bit of give to it in the vinyl, so I like that. All of the heating is coming through the ducting in furniture and places like that, so there's no weak spots in the floor, places to collect dirt. I love that. So next, let's talk about cabinetry. There are sort of two types of cabinetry in Airstream, so depending on the size and model that you choose, what you need to know is there's no MDF. This is either going to be the Italian light ply wood, making all of the cabinetries, or it's going to be a hardwood. The upholstery is another one. There's two types of upholstery in Airstream, being the ultra leather, or what they call spradling. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But they are stain resistant, they're durable, they don't crack, they're not going to scratch, that kind of thing. So, you know, whether it be kids or pets or just me and Corey, it's always good to have comfortable, good fabric for upholstery. A couple other points I wanted to make. Airstream does have a 3-year warranty, but they've also come out with a 3-year warranty on used products. So basically they're taking their old ones back, they're going through a big multi-point inspection, finding any flaws, taking them back to the factory, getting them back up to factory standards, and then they're warranting them for 3 years. Now they say that there's no cost to that, but that's not true. It's just worked into the price. I don't know how much that's going to increase the price of a used trailer. What I do know is it's probably worth it. You're now getting a trailer that has been brought up to factory standards and they're giving you a warranty on it, and that's worth something. So, you know, you'll still be able to find trailers out there that haven't been through that process, and there'll probably be a price difference for those. Speaking of price, we all know these are very expensive trailers, and I do want to talk about that. And that, is it worth it? Well, I think there's 3 things to consider that bring the price of an Airstream up. One being that they are a superior built product in a lot of ways. 2 being they're freaking iconic. These things, did you know that 70% of the trailers Airstream has built are still on the road today over all those years? That says something about their build quality, and they are iconic. The other thing is they're super efficient. They are lightweight, they're aerodynamic, all the weight is situated low on those torsion axles makes them really efficient to tow. So those things all add up to make a very well built product, and for that you do pay a premium. The other thing is they hold their value. They really, really hold their value. So if you buy an Airstream today and you go to sell it in 10 years or 20 years, you're going to get a much higher resale on that trailer than you are on pretty much anything else. What we want you also to think about, though, is not to get wrapped up in just that wonderful idea of an Airstream. Look at the whole picture and remember that every RV has challenges, and an Airstream may too, and that's just normal. So don't be disappointed if you have a loose screw or a door that doesn't latch perfectly right. That's normal RV stuff, and an Airstream might have it too. That's okay. They can all be fixed, and you can enjoy your Airstream for years and years to come. I hope this video has given you a little bit of extra information to help you with any decisions that you may be making. We are going to check out some specific models, so there'll be more information to come. Click one of the links here in the corner. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you can check out more. Give us a like, we really appreciate those. And if you're an owner or a wannabe owner and you have a question or a comment to make to add to the information we've got here, please do. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.